Good morning. Tuesday, breakfast and tea. Not all breakfast I've had my 2 slices of Zach's protein bread, I've had a cup of tea, and I've done my toilet duty. Woohoo! Time for weigh-ins. Bam! So we have a busy ass day ahead of us. So before I've had my toast and that, I'm just going to come out. We're just having a coffee just to leave the house. So we'll be stuck in the house all day packing and working in between doing all that. So it's going to be one of those days where you just feel crammed. So we're going to have a 40-minute little break before the madness. Yeah, so we're going to...
And I was super dressed up. So
yeah, and we meant to have an appointment today for, what was it, Invisalign, and it got rearranged to Friday, so...
Yeah, and I did my hair.
Oh, it's busy. This is maybe not the best place to come when you're dieting. Them cakes. Carrot cake. I want carrot cake. So we've had little orders have arrived. Lainey's gone with her Americano with skimmed milk on the side.
Because then you can kind of guesstimate how much milk goes in. So otherwise you don't know how much milk is put into a cappuccino.
I see. I kind of do because I used to have to make these when I had the bakery. So I've gone for a cappuccino. So you get the froth on the top, so it's actually less milk. But it is usually around about 130 to 150 ml of milk in a decent sized cappuccino. You can see it's pretty big, not too bad. So I'm going to log it as 150. Skimmed milk, always has for skimmed. And dusting the cocoa on the top helps sweeten it, but I would not be afraid to put this on. One sachet of this is actually only about 3 or 4 grams of sugar. So 3 or 4 carb to sweeten your coffee. Yeah. Or you could have a Lainey and she'll have sweeteners in her purse.
I do.
Like a Nana with Werther's.
But also, if you have your own coffee machine home, cappuccino machine, you can customise them, like set them. So I've set our coffee machine that it gives for a large, it's 100.
100 mil, yeah.
So then at least I always know.
She always knows, and she will always have gum. Name the movie name the TV program reference. Here's a little tip: if you are going to use the sugar, sprinkle it over the top. That way I'm only using half the packet. It's like 2 grams of carbs, but the sugar sits on top of the foam of the cappuccino, so with every sip it gets a little bit of sweetness without that added carbs. The whole 2 grams of it. Woohoo! What was that?
I said every time I appear to have tidied away and packed away something, you have opened some other box and brought out more shit for me to pack away. Any new stuff that appears that is not in a box gets thrown in the bin.
Lainey's kindly made us a, which one's this one? One of the muscle food pizzas.
Chicken and pepper, I think it is.
There's chicken and pepper, although to me that looks like it's spinach. No, it's definitely peppers and some herbs anyway.
There's spinach on it as well.
Spinach, yeah. So this is one of the high protein pizzas. They have about 70 grams of protein in them. Great little thing. And they have half each. It's only 10 grams of fat. 30 grams of protein. It's tasty goodness.
I think it's 15 carb then.
Num 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 num. And 15 carb. Awesome. So we've literally been packing all day. I've got my packing mode. I just put this on so the hair was getting in my face. And basically I am well off my macros. Nowhere, not over them, well under. Haven't eaten anything. All I've had since last checked in is literally 2 slices of the Dr. Zach's toast, again with some Cadbury's Philly on it. So I'm just gonna...
honest, I'd say it's McDonald's for dinner.
I'm just going to smash some of this granola now. There was 70 grams in there. I'm going to have that with 120 ml of milk, and then I'm going to also have this apple and whatever else I can probably get in there. I might actually tell you what we'll do now as well. I'm going to chop in a banana into that granola. So I'm going to at least try and get my probably round about 70 to about 80 grams of carb there, and I may just have a cheeky crappy day and hit macros anywhere I can, and I might hit up some Pop-Tarts or some cereal bars, but pretty much it's going to be a day where I probably undereat. Hey ho, this is life, it's what happens. I'm not overshooting, that's the main thing, and if I need to, at some point during the week, if my weight's dropped a little bit too much or it's continued to drop at a pace I don't want it to, I'll simply add in my refeed day. But I have been staying hydrated. I've had 2 or 3 glasses. I think I've had 3 glasses of this already, juice. For those of you asking why is it doubled up, they're literally stuck together. They just got stuck, it's vacuumed in there, so just kept it because it was pretty cool. That's all. Heading to the gym, 10 minutes. We're doing a shoulders, triceps, hammies, contraction week. There we have it, pre-workout. Little pink lady apple, class as a small one. I got 70 grams of banana, that was a whole banana. And there you go, so you can see the apple only weighs 100 grams, but you lose around about 15 grams of that from the core. And 1% milk in there as well. Thankfully I've got back my NO2 Extreme, so taking some of those. Not going to take any of the Pulse V4, I don't feel like I need it. Pretty much full of energy. This is just good for the old blood flow. Plus it's contraction week, so I don't need to be as... It is exerting, it's the same, but it's a bit more relaxed in the way you train on a contraction week. It's more about the focus on the rep rather than speed or shifting sheer volume, sheer weight, so this will do fine. Put my aminos in here as always, and go. What I actually might do, I was going to put my pre-workout in here and take it with me to the gym just in case I wanted it, so it was there if I needed it, but having to think, like I said, I should be fine, and I'm going to come back and I've got to shift an entire van load of stuff back out again and move out what's here. I might take my pre-workout after I've got back from the gym to go and do all that stuff, because I'm going to be bloody tired. The grind is real. Okay, the music's a little louder today, so I don't think we're going to get a voiceover in the gym, so obviously I'll do it over the top of the training. I'm going to show you the first and the last set of everything we're doing. It's contraction work, and the reason I'm going to do that is just to show you how the first to the last looks the same. It maintains the same technique, the same consistency, and the same effort. Hamstrings, triceps and shoulders. We're going to do hamstrings, seated curl, lying leg curl. Triceps, we're probably going to do an underhand grip with a crossbody, and then shoulders, I think we're going to work a press, because we haven't done an overhead press for a little bit, and probably either a rear delt or laterals. We'll see what we feel like. Again, we train quite organically. What we don't do today, we'll do later in the week. Rocking this new jersey from Gymshark. Don't know when that's released. When it is, I'll get my review video up for you. So we're in with some hamstrings, triceps and shoulders. This is a really nice machine. Pretty much all of you should have access to one of these. So there's little things I want you to take note of and little things that have helped make this a really, really good exercise for me. Number 1, body position. Now the machine wants you to sit backwards, but for me what I find is that makes you want to drag your hips forward and also reduces the negative stretch. So here you can see I'm slightly forward with my chest up nice and high, and what I'm doing is pulling through with my heels, not swinging through with my body weight. I'm really squeezing. I'm thinking of this as like an upside down kind of bicep curl. Got that motivational music going with Rob Bailey playlist, standard behavior. So the weight went up to around about 85% of the stack. It says 91, but I don't know what that means. But we did 5 working sets on this. And here you can see at the bottom, squeeze and hold, making sure that my feet are staying absolutely parallel to one another. No toes twisting out, not one toe higher than the other. Symmetry all the way. Leaning forward at the top, so I'm getting that full negative stretch. You'll see me here, I'll grip over the front of the handle in a minute, and that's helping me stay forward, getting that full negative stretch without stressing the knees, and I'm pulling through and squeezing at the bottom. The main thing here is, guys, pull through with your heels and squeeze at the bottom. Really control that negative as well and get the stretch. That is so important. Okay, so classic gym scenario. We've gone from seated hamstrings and we want to go and do lying, but the machine's being used. So rather than sitting and waiting around, we're going to do a tricep exercise. By the time we finish this, that will be free, and we'll go finish our hamstrings off. Don't be afraid to train a little bit organically. Don't be afraid to adapt. You do not have to stick to a set, regimented, set in stone routine. So just as overhand bicep curls are one of my favorite, underhand triceps is again one of my favorite. Even heavy, contraction, volume, whatever, I just really like it. It gives very little elbow stress. Here you can see we're maintaining, as I spoke about before, all about body posture. So my body's not rocking even back and forwards, and I'm making sure I'm pulling through to an angled extension. So I get full extension on the arm, but by keeping it at an angle, what I'm not doing is allowing the weight to go through and load up onto the joint. It's staying on the muscle. A little trick there, just maintain that angle, and I promise you'll feel a world of difference. So that was first set, and again on all of these I'm going to show you my first set, my last set, and then I'm going to set Mikey doing a similar thing in between, and these will be his mid-set range. And you can see again he's maintaining that same body angle, and you can see the tricep working. This is a great exercise to do, especially if you want to work your kind of technique on core strength and things like that, because you really have to hold your body steady with your core. So it is actually working more than just the triceps, but you're not bringing shoulders into play where they shouldn't be. So you'll see we keep our shoulders back, scapula engaged, and that we're not allowing them to shrug forward. A lot of people when they do triceps tend to let the shoulders come forward, and what that's doing is bringing stabilization of the traps, the shoulders, and it's also changing the width of your grip and everything. So keep your chest up, shoulders engaged, nice body angle, and think about the only point that should be pivotal here is your elbow joint. That's it. So the wrists are kept strong, the shoulders are kept back, chest up, body nice and solid, whole thing ending at an angle to maintain the load. Now, as we said, hamstring machine is free, so get that on. Mikey's working straight in. You've no need to warm in on this one because we've already done hamstrings, we've already got the blood in them. And the way we're working out our weights today is we take our max and we go to 60% and we see how that feels. If it's too light, we put it up. If it's a little bit too heavy, we put it down. And that's pretty much how we do it each time. So we're always working off our max heavy week effort. So we've been through this on the heavy week, and now you can see on contraction week the difference here is you can play around a little bit. Here we're doing a pointed toe curl. Give this a go, guys. It really makes it hard to get the contraction at the top part of the movement. It makes you work a lot harder. You can't do this with a heavy weight, but you can do it on contraction or light work, and it's a different thing to do. It's because hamstrings are kind of limited on what you can do due to the exercises that are available to you. So these are little things that are available to you to do to make the body work a little bit harder and get a little bit more from each of those exercises. Again, all about that symmetry here. So you're looking from left to right. If you're spotting or training with somebody, be looking at each other, be checking each other's form, and make sure that if there's anything out of line that you fix it. Like there, I tapped him on his right foot because his right foot was turning outward. It helped him realign and then see how hard that last rep was as a result. And it's throughout this, no matter what, you shouldn't take criticism from somebody that's trying to help you. I mean, there's a big difference between positive criticism that is there to benefit you, and then just people who are criticizing you to try and make themselves feel better about their own inadequacies. And you're going to get people like that, a lot of people like that, because a lot of people fail at this. They fail at training, and they're failing at life. They have a bad mentality throughout, so they're not worth worrying about, but they will be there, and you do have to know who is friend and who is foe. Most people in this journey, on this journey together, are just there to help one another. And guys, if you can help each other, and the goal isn't to outcompete, it's to benefit the person you're training with, benefit one another. Make sure that you're both moving forward, moving upward. If you can help somebody get better, they're going to help you get better in return, especially if you're training together, because you're going to elevate one another. It is very, very easy to try and pull others down rather than raise yourself up. So stand apart from the crowd, guys, and raise each other up. Back onto the triceps here. This is a little bit of a weird one. I don't think I've shown you before, and it's kind of our standing skull crusher. I think I have briefly shown it, but the theory behind it is, imagine you're lying on a bench and you're doing the angled skull crusher motion with a bar, where you're bringing it to the crown of your head and coming back up to an angle. Again, we're all about those angles, maintaining the load on the muscle and not the joint. So you bring it to the crown of your head, and then as you come through, watch our hands. Do you see how our hands allow the wrist to flex? That's what you're looking for here. So you want to push through, keeping your knuckles facing your own face. And so you give a little bit of flex at the wrist, and what that does is it allows you to really contract the muscle and really work it hard. This is a really, really nice exercise if you can get it right. It just takes a little bit of practice, but practice that's well worth putting in. So body posture wise, feet together, nice and even, soft knees, hips are back, upper body at a nice angle, core held tight, shoulders engaged and back. and we're keeping the elbows. Look, the elbows do not move. They don't raise up as the bar comes back. So we're bringing the bar back to the crown of the head, driving forward, flexing at the wrist, the whole time maintaining the elbow and shoulder position. So we're only letting that elbow joint be the pivotal point. Give it a go. Let me know how you find this, because I'm not sure, I haven't seen too many other people do it. Maybe we've pioneered it. Maybe we've created something different. Maybe we'll actually help you make some new gains in a short time. Flexing. Hell yeah. So another stretch I forgot to show you before is you're going to put the palms behind your back. You're going to come up and rotate your hands out. So the idea is, your chest here, so lean forward as you're coming in. You're getting on the back of the side, you count your chest up, come out to the side, rotate around. Really good for your rotator cuff, shoulder warm-ups, get it in. So then we moved on to shoulders and a classic, the Viking Press. Absolutely love this machine. We do 5 plates on this on a heavy week, so contraction week is usually around about that 60% mark, so we're hitting up 3 plates looking for a good 10 reps. Here, this is what we're doing is pausing at the bottom, so 1, 2, press. And that's how we do throughout. This gets really, really tough. But a little trick here again to help create an overall benefit for this exercise. You want to have soft knees, your hips slightly back, almost in a ready to squat position. And that way it makes your core work, it makes your glutes work, and it helps you brace your body and not rely on kind of locking out the joints to maintain your foundation. So you're working the whole entire body to be able to adapt to lifting the weight, controlling the weight, and you're not going to be rocking or kicking hips in and out, which can be really dangerous and what can cause people to tweak their back, because you're going to be in a safer body position. So the pause at the bottom here, the 1-2 pause, and then a drive up, and we're looking to not snap at the top either. A nice contraction and down. We used a hammer grip on this. Again, I just prefer kind of hammer grips to wide grips. I think they're a safer motion. They give you the same benefit without that risk of popping kind of rotators or damaging any of the kind of shoulder joints. But check out Mikey's shoulder and back here. The progression has been fantastic. There's no doubt he's making some real gains with this program that we're working. So, you know, the integration between heavy volume and contraction is definitely working for both of us. We're both seeing progression. You guys are noticing it. I'm noticing it. And it's a really good feeling to see that this all coming together after a good few years of trial and error to bring a program that works. And here you can see Mikey's hands shaking as he's holding the camera. So even a contraction week, which is a little bit of basically it is a kind of a pullback without being a complete deload week. So it's allowing you to get that, it's almost an active deload where you're still getting progression, you're still working, and mainly on the mind to muscle. That's what you're looking at here is working that mind to muscle connection. So when you go into those volume weeks and when you go into the heavier weeks, you have complete control over the body and what's going on, how you're moving it, where you're moving it, and the positions you need to be in, so that when you get under those weights, you can be confident. Rear delts, we've shown this to you a number of times, guys, but again, a lot of you seem to keep asking about this exercise, and the simple thing is here, we look to pull from the elbows. Our hands, we play around with them depending on the week. I tend to like to have them in this grip here where I'm holding the handles, or as I've shown before, I'll have my palms facing away from each other, so knuckles facing inward, palms facing outward, and that way. But you're always looking to have your elbows at least in line with your shoulders, if not a little bit higher, to make a really good contraction and benefit from this exercise. What you want to also do is make sure that you're not bringing the traps in. Now, if that means stopping and resetting every couple of reps, then do so, but you have to learn to disconnect the traps. You have to learn to be able to relax certain muscle groups while contracting others. If you're not able to do that, you're not going to be able to benefit. You're going to plateau out and you're going to get stuck and you're going to hit sticking points regularly. You have to be able to just accept that your body's going to have flaws, you're going to have flaws and mistakes. But if you correct those mistakes, if you overcome the fact that someone's telling you you're doing something wrong for your benefit, you will benefit even further as a result. The moment that you are able to separate the contracting muscle from the surrounding muscles, the level of the exercise just increases dramatically. Your ability to focus, your ability to control, they all contribute to growth, progression, and consistent progression at that. Lift it, don't shift it. Thanks for watching, guys. Arr, still in pirate mode, back from the gym. And look, this is the last, really, of the kind of tidbits of stuff to leave the house. Till tomorrow, when the movers come. That is it. All of this, desks, they will do all that. It is well worth paying someone to do that.
The heavy stuff.
The heavy stuff.
It's bad enough doing the light stuff ourselves.
We've done 4 van loads by the time we got this there. And as I said, I wasn't shitting you. I wasn't kidding. I'm literally going to have a post-workout, pre-workout. And that is because it was so warm in the gym. So freaking warm. I felt like I was on a flop sweat. I felt like women must feel like we're on the menopause. And it was a good session, but 3 body parts done, and it is killer. 5 sets per body part. So I'm going to load this bad boy up with some Pulse V4, and I'm going to unload the shit out of that van.
When you say flop sweat, it makes me think of sweaty balls.
Well, that's a delightful end to the video. So I think this is going to be all I'm going to record today because I'm well under my macros. So I will eat now as best I can until an earlier bedtime than usual because we've got to be up for the movers from like 7 AM or something silly. But the main thing is I ate around the workout and I haven't gone over. I haven't thought, screw it, and just eaten what I wanted. I'm still within my macros. I haven't maximised my macros, but one day isn't going to kill me. One day isn't going to have a huge effect on the outcome. Just like one meal won't make you shredded, one meal won't make you fat. It's the same goddamn theory. As long as you're consistent overall, and I haven't blown my macros, so I'm still in a deficit, and I might just add in a touch more food tomorrow if need be, or a refeed day, as I said. So, from the Boom Baby final shot of this household, we'll see you in the new place. That's the Boom bicep with the...